Hey guys, welcome back to FPL. This is game week 10 coming up. Obviously it comes out tomorrow, the game. Obviously talking about last week, due to work, I didn't get time to release a video. However, I do put out shorts on YouTube. So if I don't ever get a chance to give a actual team selection video, make sure you are checking the shorts to see what I'm sending out for the game week. As you can see, 38 points, below the average, a stink of a week, and we'll get into why it was a stink of a week. But the logic of what I went with kind of was right. It just didn't happen that week, and I'll talk to that a little bit more on what I mean about that. But coming in, most transfers ins and outs. Brian and Bemo from Man United. Man United could win 4 games in a row. Are we back? Who knows? Matessa, understandable. Something I'm looking at. Watermoa, Gabriel and Thiago. The most ins, with Sal's being João Pedro, Reinders, Salah, Kudus and Gokares. Now, funny enough, Kudus, because a lot of people only saying 2 weeks ago that he was a must pick. He's going to start performing. He's going to do this, do that. And only 2 weeks later, people are selling him. Obviously, we got rid of him like 5 weeks ago. And we thought, damn, that was a real mistake. But now it seems everyone's getting rid of him. Salah, again, I've made my opinions pretty open about Salah this season. Been terrible. Obviously, there's a lot of money to be sitting on, wasting. However, if you actually get into the fixtures of Liverpool, apart from obviously Man City, I think you can do something against Aston Villa. Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Brighton, Spurs, Wolves, Leeds, Fulham. Then you got Arsenal, Burnley. You're looking at 14 games. Liverpool look fantastic. Is it really worth selling Mo Salah? Okay, you could maybe go to Etitike and use that money elsewhere. But we know Salah is captain option when he does perform. And the fixtures are coming up good for Liverpool. You expect them. They've been shit. We know that. But I think they can definitely... I definitely think he's worth keeping. So I'm going to keep Salah. But I understand why people are selling him. I understand why they've been selling him for the last 4 or 5 game weeks. Let's look at the points, because I think that's what everyone wants to see. This is what happened. Raya in goal. We start with Arsenal defence. We knew that was going to pay off. Senesi did well against, I believe it was 2-0. Obviously, minus the yellow card didn't help. 5 points. Yeah. Then we decided to go Esteval. And my thought was, they got burnt. They're playing Wolves. I think they can win this. I think they can get a clean sheet. So I put him in. And I'll talk about when we go to the bench, who I benched and why. But yeah, my thought was not going to double up. But I put Esteval in, thinking clean sheet. And yeah. But yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately. Moving into the midfield, Reinders again has been disappointing, and that is a player that started great, went up in price, and now has started to drop. And you can see from the performances why. Salah, again, he scored last week in that loss against Brentford, which was a shocking loss for Liverpool. But it showed he still can perform. So, good signs there. Semenyo, we spoke about that. That is a bit disappointing because they do win 2-0, get the 3 points for the team. But Semenyo is a player that contributes a lot. And to not get any contributions, again, it was disappointing for us as a manager. Ndiaye, again, this one was a bit of a hit and hope, thinking maybe he gets a penalty, maybe he could get an assist. Spurs have not looked good recently, especially defensively. So I thought we'll put him in, and yeah. And then we go to Chelsea again. 2-1. 2-1. Not everyone can beat Sunderland, unfortunately. Maybe I need to make this a bit smaller. Yeah, just so you can get in there. Yeah, not everyone can beat Sunderland, unfortunately. Chelsea seem to have lost. But that, again, Chelsea not performing, didn't do well. And Captain Haaland actually did nothing. Lost against Aston Villa. So, a very, very disappointing week. Then we come to the bench. And you've got 21 points on Van de Ven. You've got... I have to change the angle of that. So you got 2 points for minutes played. He scored 2 goals, 12 points from centre back. He got a clean sheet point. He got bonus points and contribution points. 21 points on the bench. It was an absolute disaster for me. And yeah. We then come to Foster. He scored 1 goal in that Burnley game. Minutes played 15. That's not bad. 15 minutes played, scored a goal. But he was on the bench. And then Mark Gahey again. Minutes played, contribution points. So to be honest, obviously we would have wanted Van de Ven. I should have took the risk, to be honest, but again, when you look at Spurs' previous fixtures, there is no clean sheet at all. So yeah, it was understandable why I decided to bench Van de Ven. It just happens to be that 1 week I did bench him. He went and got 21 points. Moving into the highest points team, triple captain on Ryan Mbemo. Okay. Vicario, Guy, Gabriel, Van de Ven, Bemo, Tavernier, Szoboszlai, Rice, Haaland, Thiago, STK, Dubravka, Reinders, Konza, and Anderson on the bench. That's a decent side, to be honest. Most points as well. So, head into the leagues. It does mean it's red arrows for us. In the McDonald's, we've now dropped down to 4th after being 3rd for the last 7 weeks. Cavan sits 5th. and then Gavin drops down to 7th. So not many changes apart from us going down, to be honest. Again, we're 100 points behind Tyler, which is very, very bad. However, we were behind Tyler for most of our last season. Have we had a great start compared to last year? No. I think we've had a worse start. But it's when the middle of the ground comes in. When it comes to December, January, that's when the games come rolling in. The double game weeks, the mid game weeks. That's when you start picking points. So for now, I'm not 100% wide behind 100 points. We still got obviously a bench boost to use, a free hit. And then obviously resets in the second half of the season, so we'll get that triple captain back, wild card back, stuff like that. So I'm not 100%, panicking. Coming into my league itself, so a couple of changes. Well, a couple of people have moved up, to be honest. In the league, a lot of changes. Obviously, you can still join the league. The code will obviously be in the comments. But yeah, so the top 3 remain the same. Again, points not. Yeah, so top 3 stays the same. Top 4 and 5th have gone up, which is fair. Jamie has dropped down again with not a great week from him. Obviously, we've dropped down to 7th. Who had the best week in here? 59. So no one really got high in this league, which is compared to obviously, if we go back to the McDonald's league, Tyler had 83. Everyone else was very low, so only Tyler really got a good week from that, and that's obviously pushed him ahead of Matt. Petrovic in goal, Van der Ven, Gabriel Guy, so he was sensible to go with a 3. Gakpo as a bench boost, okay. As a it doesn't the 23 points from Van der Ven obviously plays a huge part into a lot of people's points, because from what I'm seeing is a lot of people were close to the average, between 38 to 50 something. Yeah, so we're more likely to climb back in my own league than McDonald's league as of now, because the gap for me is only 56 points, as obviously we've seen the gap from me to Tyler, which is 100 points, which is basically double. So this league is more close combat, it's more tighter, you're going to change things. I would love to see who wins it. Hopefully we do claw back. But yeah, interesting. what means going into transfers wise, we made one. We still got one free transfer. And as you can see, we've brought a new striker in. We got rid of Flemings and we brought in this young Bournemouth striker who's been cooking at the minute. And I'm not going to take credit because someone has already used him in the league. But what a signing he's been for Bournemouth, with obviously Everson being injured. But yeah, he's been cooking so far, and as a bench option, I think he's decent. Coming into this week, it's a bit of a hard one on what do I go. I think you've got to go Gahey in there. Am I going to bench Van der Ven again? I'm not sure. Is Chelsea a better fixture for Spurs than a good Bournemouth side against Man City? That's what I've got to answer myself. Because at the minute, I've got 2 Arsenal players, 2 Bournemouth players playing. I've got 2 Chelsea players playing and 2 Man City players. Now there's Man City versus Bournemouth, so that's a clash. I've then got Arsenal versus Burnley, which is a clash. I've got then Spurs versus Chelsea, which is a clash. So the only players not clashing is Mo Salah and Ndiaye. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle to figure out what I want to go for. But I am leaning to actually potentially dropping Reinders. Yeah, substitute there. And playing a 4-4-2. That is something I'm looking at. Go defensive strong for now. The only other change I could see myself making is get rid of João Pedro, but they do have good fixtures coming up. And go in for someone like a Metesa up front. That's something I see. But I'm not 100% sure. So for now, guys, I'm going to pick the team as this for now. Any changes will be on the YouTube shorts. But for now, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment how you're doing in the leagues, how you'll get, what changes you might make, and the code for my league will be in the comments as well. So if you are new and you want to join, or you've been watching my content for a little while now and you want to get involved, you are free to join. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully we have a good week and we can get some points back and start pulling the ground. But thank you for watching. Goodbye.